Samdhong Rinpoche, why meditate?
Why to meditate? This is a very good question. And today a lot of people have not paying attention before they start meditation. Even the meditators themselves do not know why they meditate. The intention for meditation is much more important than the techniques of meditation. If you ask me the direct question, why you meditate, then my counter question would be, why you eat your food, why you drink water. Your ready-made reply to that would be, I have to survive, my body have to be sustained, therefore I have to eat food, drink water, otherwise my body may not be able to sustain. Then I would say, I shall have to meditate because my mind and my consciousness shall have to be sustained. And they also need a kind of food. The consciousness is the only thing which can evolve, which can grow, which can develop unlimitedly. No other thing can develop unlimitedly. Our body has a limitation. It will grow, it will become mature, and it will decay, and then it will become old, and then it's disintegrate. And all our worldly possessions, material things, they have the limitation of their development and growth. But only the mind, only the consciousness, it can go up to the stage of perfection, up to the stage of Buddhahood, up to the stage of omniscient and knowing, perceiving every knowable things. So up to that level we can develop. And if that potential of development is there, then why not we develop it? Why not we just try to improve it day by day? Why we should let the mind alone remain unattended, uncared for? The person is embodiment of physical body, speech, and the mind. This is the three components of the individual. And the body has limitation, the speech has limitation, but the mind knows no limitation, no bound. But individuals only care for body and little bit for voice or speech, and they do not care at all for the take care of the mind, for the development of the mind, for the protection of the mind, and it let remain wherever it goes. So thereby the individuals remain within the bondage. They cannot protect their physical body, and they have to go from one birth to another birth. If you believe rebirth, if you don't believe rebirth, then you ends up when your body is disintegrated. If you are able to develop the mind at the fullest extent, then even you do not believe rebirth and after the death, you can go up to the death with full confidence and with full freedom. So this is the only reason why we meditate. Except meditation, there is no way to take care of the mind. Then these days, there are many meditators who are not aimed for the ultimate liberation of mind, but they are aimed for physical well-being, free from stress and worry, to develop the capability of intelligence and mental work, to increase the efficiency of their professions. These are not a very good intention for meditation, but these are okay. And there are many, maybe not many, there are certain meditators who are longing for a kind of power, psychic power, or power of worldly positions. And by this kind of intention, if anyone meditates, then that meditation would be not a actual meditation. It is just a play with the mind. So I think that's enough to answer your question, why to meditate.
Is it fundamental to be vegetarian to practice meditation?
I would not say it is absolutely necessary, but it would be 100 times better for a meditator if he or she could become vegetarian. That would be definitely better. But I won't say the no-vegetarians should not meditate. Even no-vegetarians should meditate, and perhaps through meditation one might become vegetarian in other way around. So I will not absolutely discard non-vegetarian people from meditation. But if there is a choice, there is a freedom for a meditator to become a vegetarian, then the person must become vegetarian. It would be much better for the meditation.
Rinpoche, what advice can you give us for controlling the monkey mind?
I don't have any ready-made advice which could tie down the monkey mind immediately. All the meditators' guidance is that be patient and continue the practice. Do it over and over again. If your mind is not able to concentrate, don't get discouraged immediately. After days and after weeks and after months and after years, you must continue the practice, and then slowly it will progress. I don't think there's any shortcut. Of course, the choice of object, the choice of bodily posture, and the light or darkness of the room, and to keep away from pollution of sound, noise pollutions are avoided. These are few things which we can do externally. Apart from that, you have to practice over and over again, and the monkey mind will become disciplined gradually, and concentration will gain definitely.
You have a negative emotion, very poison emotion.
Right. Mm-hmm.
How to work with it in the moment it is living in yourself?
The Buddhist advice is that when you have very strong negative emotions, it is better to stop your physical action as well as your vocal expressions and wait for some time to subside the emotions. When emotions are so strong and you are not matured in meditation or stability of mind, then whatever you do or whatever you speak is almost bound to be negative or bound to be wrong. So the best thing is you keep a guard to yourself. You are so much in anger, then better to sit down doing nothing. And everything is changing and impermanence. Your anger may not remain at the same level for hours together. After half an hour or 1 hour, your anger may subside a little bit. It may not be completely go away. You are still angry, but that degree will not be there, and at least your rationality will come back. And once your rationality comes back, then you can think your actions properly, and then also you will be able to do how to do away with the negative emotions. So the best thing to deal with strong negative emotions is to postpone your actions and observe or watch that negative emotion.
Rinpoche, is it essential to have a teacher to practice meditation?
Yes. One should have a good knowledge of meditation technique that may be acquired from a teacher, or that may be acquired from a book, or that may be acquired by one's own experiments. One should have a basic knowledge of it. And then if you could have a good teacher, that would be better for the beginners. For the advanced people, then of course one should go by oneself. But for the beginners, if guide is there, that would be better. But guide is not indispensable. If you are intelligent enough and you are mindful enough, then you can meditate without any teacher or guidance. That is possible.
Possible to a person that has another religion to practice the Buddhist meditation without conflicts with his?
Definitely. When we come to the meditation, it does not refer the entirety of the religion. Meditation is a technique of mental training. And that mental training of shamatha and vipassana is not a new thing which taught by Buddha the Shakyamuni, the historical Buddha. The technique exists in India much before the Buddha's time, and the Shakyamuni Buddha has also used these techniques, and he revitalized it, and he retaught it to his disciples. The Hindu way of meditation, the Buddhist way of meditation, the Jain way of meditation, there are no difference. The one technique of meditation can be used by Hindus, by Buddhists, by Jains, but at the end result or the beginning intention, there would be a differently recognized. Otherwise, for the meditation techniques are concerned, they are common to everyone. Therefore, a Muslim, a Christian, or any other person who like the Buddhist way of meditation, they can very much adopt it in their own religion. To meditate in the way of Buddhist technique need not to become a Buddhist. And actually the Buddhists never recommend to anyone to change his or her religion. Once a person is entered into a religion, the person is much better to remain in that religion. Of course, we cannot deprive the person the freedom of changing the religion. The freedom should be there. But as a religious teaching, no one should recommend or no one should encourage anybody to change the religion. Whatever goodness one may see in the Buddhist tradition, you can take it very well and adapt into your own religious tradition. And similarly, the Buddhists may take any good thing if they see in Christianity or in Islam or in any other religion, the Buddhists may take it into their own practice of spirituality. Actually, a religion is very difficult to define. It is more or less related to community and rituals. So therefore we have to keep the differences. When spiritual is concerned, the Christian spirituality, Buddhist spirituality, or Muslim spirituality, there should not be any difference. That is a stage of mind. So religion is also goes to the religiousness, but religious involves the religiosity and the organization as well. And spirituality, there's no division, there's no partition. And when anyone is spiritually elevated and spiritually attained the higher stage, then all these different traditions of religions become almost irrelevant. So therefore, in the spiritual realm, everything is interchangeable and compatible with each other. So religion is more a culture side, more a tradition side. There the uniqueness is important. We have to maintain it.
What kind of object is the better choice to a beginner?
There is no any blanket principle which could tell that this would be a best object for concentration. And therefore every individual at the time of beginning of meditation, he or she should spend some time for choosing the object. If a very strong religious-minded devotee of any particular deity or particular impersonate of higher ones, then it may be better to choose an image of the deity, a small image of a deity, or someone is very much accustomed with the mantras, then for them the Om or any kind of mantra in a shape of script, that can also be. Then many people find it good to have a small film of light, and that light is very clear and stable, and that is also good. Actually, in the canon, there is more than 100 different kinds of objects are suggested, and naturally it is for the individuals to search which object is better to remain clear in the mind and also which helps for concentration. So therefore a week or so maybe spent for experimenting for various objects. And once the object is decided, then you shall also have to spend some time the size of object, the color of object, and where you will image or you will put that object. All these things has to be experimented, and then you have to decide for yourself. Some people find it easier to concentrate on the bigger size of object, and many other people are not able to concentrate on the big object. Much subtle, small objects are better for concentration. And some people it put high, and some people just in front of the nose, and some people it put a bit low in front of maybe something like that. This differs from one person to another person. So there's not a blanket rule for everyone. So each one should choose and should experiment and should find out which is better. That is the Buddhist way.
Samdhong, what kind of experiences a beginner in meditation can expect?
Working with the object, the beginner should not look for any kind of experience. The beginning only look for a concentration without any distraction, without any disturbance. How long he or she could concentrate on that object clearly without any hindrance, and then the length of the concentration should gradually increase. So in the beginning, experiences is not important. You might get a number of experiences, experience of bodily sensations, experience of visions, a number of different kind of visions. And if you carried away by these experiences, then you will not be able to continue with the meditation. Whatever experience may come or experience may go, the meditator should not be neither very excited nor very discouraged. And whether experience comes or doesn't come, particularly experience doesn't come, then the practice of meditation can go regularly. Sometimes a very unique experience comes, and then the meditator becomes very excited about it, and then he loses the concentration in practice, and then that experience is disappear. Then he or she feels discouraged and have desire to have that kind of experience again and over again. All these are disturbance to the meditation. For a good meditator in the beginning, one should not look for any kind of experience. Only concentration is important. Yes, sir.
Please talk about the ethical preparation to meditation.
Ethical preparation to the meditation is to have a good moral discipline at the beginning. A moral discipline varies from one religious tradition to another religious tradition in details, but grossly speaking, all the religions in which the tradition of meditation exists, their preparation of ethic code would be to remain non-violent, and all kind of violence to other sentient beings is the greatest hindrance for meditative mind. So therefore you must be remain non-violent, and if you remain non-violent, you are practicing the ethic preparation for meditation. And if you have complete non-violent physical, vocal, mental, and also structural violence, whatever it may be, you dissociate from that. Otherwise, you will not be able to meditate properly. And with this kind of moral discipline, and then you shall also have to follow certain kind of lifestyle of not a very rush and free from stressful work, and have a good physical body, and mindfulness eating and mindfulness living, and you eat a very moderate food, and better to not eat in the afternoons and the evening, and regulated sleep, not very long sleep, not very short sleep, within 24 hours, a definitive requirement according to your body. You must have a sound sleep of 6 hours or 7 hours or 5 hours, whatever it may be, your body requirement, that you can know by yourself, by experimenting. If you sleep long, then your body become dull, and you sleep less, your body become restless and tired. So therefore, sound sleep for a appropriate time according to your body, that is to be observed. And then the time schedule is most important as preparatory work. You get up in the morning, appropriate time according to your regular schedule, and then time of eating, and time of meditation, and the regularity of meditation. These are few necessaries. Then you should also have some kind of environment which is not very lot of voice around, distraction, many other things. You should have free from all these things, and then you should have a kind of privacy. And during the meditation, you shouldn't have any anxiety of somebody might coming in or some disturbance might have happened. So in a quiet room and a kind of security. So these things are necessary for the beginners, of course.
Rinpoche, describe a person who is advanced in meditation.
I think that is quite easy. Anyone who really attains advancement in meditation, then that person would be much less negative emotions and much more positive emotions. That person will be apparently less greedy, less hatred, more kind, more loving, more dedicated for service and the benefit of others, and particularly the person would remain detached from any kind of worldly attachments. There would not be any worldly attachment, and less fear for death, and less involvement in any kind of negative things, and become naturally non-violent. That is the sign of progress of meditation.
Please talk about the technique of meditation.
That is a very vast subject. I am afraid I can talk in a short interview in a befitting manner all these things which you have questioned, but I could very briefly describe that when you talk about meditation, you should know the basic three different categories of meditation. There are certain meditation which means you are trying to transform your mind from present position to some different position. For example, we talk about the meditation of compassion, meditation of loving kindness. To meditate on compassion and to meditate on loving kindness or to meditate on the Buddhist Chitta, that doesn't mean the love and compassion is to be taken as object and the concentration on that is a meditation on love. That is not the case. When we talk about meditation of loving kindness, compassion means that uncompassionate mind is to be converted into compassionate one. Heated mind is to be transformed into loving kindness. So that is a process which transforms the mind, and that kind of meditation is one group of meditation. Then another group of meditation is to concentrate on an object or subject, whatever you may call it. For example, meditation on impermanence, meditation on the miseries of the worldly psychic. That means you ponder upon the impermanence of a thing, or you ponder upon the disease, decay and death, extra, the unhappiness of the world, or you ponder upon the good things of the Buddha nature. So this kind of meditation, or you meditate on shamat, that means you concentrate on light or on a statue or something like that. Make an image and you just concentrate on that. So this kind of meditation is meditate on an object. And the third kind of meditation is visualization meditation. That means meditation of a mandala, meditation of a deity. A deity does not exist there in physical form, but you just visualize a complete physical form of deity in front of you, and then you try to interact with that visualized thing, or you yourself is visualized Tara or an Avalokiteshvara in complete form, and then you think that I am the Tara or I am the Avalokiteshvara. So this kind of meditation is a meditation of visualization. Actually the thing is not there, but you image or you visualize something is there, and gradually you can curate by your mental power. When you visualize the mandala, then the physical mandala can be created for period of time around you. So this kind of three different major categories of meditations are there. All this meditation can be again categorized in two basic categories. One is concentrative nature, and the other is analytical nature. Concentrative nature meditation, your mind is always concentrated on one object and do not analyze, do not argue, do not dialogue, do not rationalize. You concentrate on a point of light or a kind of cycle or anything, you have taken the object and then you concentrate on that. And the practice of concentration is called shamat. And when you get the power of concentration on one object for any length of time according to your wish, then you switch on the practice of analytical meditation, contemplative meditation. Then you do not concentrate on one object, but you concentrate generally on one subject, and then you analyze. For example, meditation of impermanence, then you analyze how things are impermanent, how things are changing from moment to moment. Similarly, you meditate on shunyata. The shunyata does not come, the emptiness does not come immediately to your mind. You have to analyze every phenomenon or every object before you, and you analyze then where does it exist and how it exists. And the existence is when very subtly analyzed, you will not find the object as you perceive before you, as you projected it. And that kind of analyzation leads you to realization of emptiness. So this kind of analytical and contemplative meditation is called vipassana. Vipassana means to divide things and to make the things more subtle, and then you perceive it, to see it in more great detail. So these two kind of meditation is talked about in Buddhism. Whatever it may be, when you go to the meditation, concentrative meditation is necessary at the first, and then thereafter you can switch on for the analytical meditation. And at the time of concentrative meditation's practice, the major hindrance in the beginning would be distraction of your mind from the object on which you are concentrating, and that is called the uddat mind, the agitated mind. Your mind goes from the object, and various kind of thought is coming to your mind, disturbing the concentration. And at that time, you have to slow down, and you have to put your mind again and over again to the object of concentration. Then after a great deal of practice, you might be able to get some kind of stability. You are able to concentrate without any disturbance of thought on one pointed object for few minutes or for few seconds. Then at that time there's a second kind of obstacle comes, that is sinking of the mind. We call it lay. Then with the concentration, your mind becomes dull, and the clarity and the sharpness of mind is having tendency of losing, and thereby become drowsy, and then you may slip off, get into sleep or get into unconsciousness, just sink on that object. And at that moment you have to put your mind at higher level, and you shall have to increase the sharpness of concentration, and try to again and over again to have the clarity, and the dynamism of concentration has to be created. So by this way, after perpetuated practice, then you will be able to get a stable mind to concentrate on one object as long as you wish, without any disturbance from anywhere. Then after that, you will also get a kind of physical fitness due to that concentrative mind, the development of concentrative mind. Your physical is also tireless, and you can work for long hours, and you can feel your body very light, so on and so forth. Then thereafter, you can switch off for the meditation of vipassana, and then vipassana begins from analyzation of the body and analyzation of the sensations and analyzation of the whole the dharma, and then analyzation of the mind. So basically, the Buddhist meditation tradition talk about the four great analyzation, and through which you can have a very special perception or very special understanding or insight of your body, your sensations, your mind, and the entirety of the phenomenon.
Is it possible a Western with professional responsibilities and social activities practice the Tantra?
To involve in the Buddhist Tantra, you need not get away from any professional commitments, but to enter into Tantra, there's a lot of prerequisite preparations that a busy person who couldn't find much time for preparation may not be very easily able to get into Tantra. These days Tantra become very popular, and there is a kind of crazy for Tantric teachings, but I am not among those who recommends practice of Tantra for everyone. To recite a certain kind of mantra or to have a picture of deity in your room, up to that extent is okay. But actually practicing the entirety of Tantric rituals, it's sometimes very dangerous. It's better not to involve without any preparation.
But what are the dangers in practicing Tantra?
First of all, Tantra, Buddhist Tantra, is the shortcut to attainment of Buddhahood. In a common path, through the common path, to attain Buddhahood needs eons of time, and you might have to spend hundreds of thousands of lives after birth, rebirth, and after rebirth. So thousand times of your life have to spend for accumulation of the merits and for development of wisdom. Through Tantric practice, you can accumulate the required good deeds and merits, and you can develop the wisdom a very short spell of time, and even once within this life one might able to attain Buddhahood. So therefore, those people who do not have the determination to achieve Buddhahood for the benefit of the all sentient beings, that means Buddhist is not cultivated in your mind, then practice of Tantra become a kind of immoral activity. A path of Buddha nature, path of achievement of Buddhahood, is using for worldly powers or wealth or something like that. That is misuse of a path, misuse of a dharma. So that is a kind of immoral. This immorality is the highest immorality. So therefore, the ethic dangerous is you might involve into unethical, very dangerous unethical act. And apart from that, you might become unsound mind, or you might have physical disturbances because of immature and incomplete guidance. You may practice some kind of tantric exercise or tantric practices or rituals that may go wrong and which may disturb your well-being, and also which may disturb your peace of mind. All these kind of are possible.
Okay.
We'll have to get in. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy.
Okay.